The island of Hainan sits in the northern reaches of the South China Sea. It was once a crucial trading hub on the ancient maritime Silk Road. Merchants would stop here for supplies before they continued their journeys, taking their precious cargoes of Chinese silk and porcelain to Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and even Europe. Today, it is China's largest special economic zone and a popular holiday destination. The tropical island, with over 9 million people, is no longer a resting place. It's now a favoured destination for tourists and business travellers alike. In early June, China released a master plan outlining how its youngest province would be transformed into a globally influential free trade port by the middle of the century. What will the Hainan Free Trade Port look like in the years to come? How will the project benefit foreign investors? And how does all this play into China's broader opening up objectives? This is Xinhua Special. Governments worldwide use free trade zones to encourage trade and investment, and, as in China's case, to trial policies before they're rolled out across the country. In April 2018, President Xi Jinping announced that Hainan had been chosen to become a pilot free trade zone and eventually developed into a free trade port. After establishing 18 free trade zones across the country, the central government decided to upgrade Hainan into a free trade port, the whole island in its entirety. This puts Hainan in a unique position, allowing the province to develop a modern industrial system that's built on the free flow of trade, investment, funds, personnel, logistics, and secure data flow. Tourism, advanced services, and high-tech industries stand to be the southernmost island's new competitive edge. Hainan will introduce zero tariffs for the trade of goods, promote trade and investment liberalisation and facilitation, and create a dynamic business environment.
Well, of course, it's very attractive and it's very competitive. There's other policies besides that together make a great package. And there's a lot of incentives for companies to come here. I started my company actually just over a year ago. The natural environment is what brought us here, but the business environment we found to be very, very open and inviting, and it was very smooth and very easy. For my company, there's no difference between my company and a Chinese company. It doesn't matter. We're treated equally and fairly under the law.
China wants multinational companies to establish international and regional headquarters on Hainan. This means making the island province attractive to these firms. To this end, inward investment will be made easier, intellectual property rights better protected, and the competitive environment will be made fairer.
那亚特兰蒂斯落户在那个海南三亚，那从它开业到现在的成功来看，证明确实适合未来中国整个消费市场提升的需求。我们也会进一步强化在海南的投资，切身体会到海南这几年的营商环境在不断的变化。那这也是为什么我们现在继续看好海南，而且是更看好海南的那个根本原因，就是自由贸易港总体规划方案里面，实际上对未来的那个法治化、国际化和便利化营商环境做了非常重要的一些阐述吧。那我相信这个方案的出台，尤其是吸引更多的投资者进入海南，有非常重要的一个作用。
In 2019 alone, the island welcomed 1.42 million overseas tourists. This was partially due to its existing visa-free entry scheme, which will be expanded to benefit more countries and allow longer stays. These people must get onto the island somehow, and so entry procedures for cruise ships and yachts will be simplified too. Another area given special attention to in the just released master plan is healthcare. The integration of medicine and tourism is already encouraged across the island, and we need not look any further than Hainan Buao Lecheng International Medical Tourism Pilot Zone to see some of the international companies already reaping the benefits.
This hospital, we started providing service in 2018, February. This hospital is actually the only overseas affiliation hospital of Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. Speaking for this pilot zone, we are allowed to introduce newly approved medications, meaning drugs, instruments, equipment, medical equipment from outside world without approval by the central Chinese FDA. We're a cancer specialty hospital. In recent years, there are so many new anti-cancer medications comes out from Europe, from USA, and also in Japan. We could introduce those medications into this area and bring patients into this area as well. They just stay in the country, but they enjoy the same treatment as the outside world.
Currently, 100 kinds of imported medicines and medical equipment, most of which yet to receive import approval elsewhere in China, are now available in the pilot zone. From tailor-made taxation mechanisms to accommodative travel regulations, from the opening up of the financial sector to further lifting restrictions on data area, the blueprint for Hainan Free Trade Port demonstrates China's resolve to improve access across the board. Recently, China reduced the number of sectors barred from entering the Chinese market, known as the negative list. It also passed the foreign investment law and scrapped investment quota limits for qualified investors in the financial industry.
So I have very strong belief in this opening up policy. I believe as long as we keep going on this way, this road, which I believe is the correct road, and also keep making effort every time, every day, one step at a time, that eventually, maybe very quickly, we're going to really reach the point where we start seeing more outside world countries, personals, expertise, experts, top talents comes in, investment comes in.
From its roots as a resting hub on the ancient maritime Silk Road, Hainan has already proven that it can turn its fortunes around and become a favoured destination for tourists and business people alike. Despite COVID-19 continuing to spread across the world, the launch of the Free Trade Port signals to the world that China remains open for business. Imagine what can be achieved by this new frontier for market opportunity by the middle of the century. See you next time.